Understanding count, sum, average function, let's come to the next topic that we are covering in this week, that is AutoSum and AutoFill. And also we will cover a special function of AutoFill, that is flash fill. So what we have learned till now, we can actually execute the sum of the numbers, the numerical numbers given in the range. We can select whichever cell we want to pass to the that function. And similarly, we have another option to do AutoSum without applying any kind of function, without writing any function. What we can do AutoSum as well. Autofill is another option where Excel is actually doing all the calculation and everything without writing any particular function. So how we can do it? Left click, hold and drag. We will learn it with the practice. For now, you just understand where we have these functions. So first we are talking about here AutoSum, where you can find this AutoSum. It is available with the formulas tab. There you can see the AutoSum here. And similarly, what we can do, if we have a number of series, for example, series 1, series 2, series 3, and 4 and 5, what we can do, rather than applying individually sum for all these columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what we can do, we can apply this auto sum option that is available with the formulas, and automatically it will calculate the summation of these five numbers or the numbers we are providing into the range. And we can pass this auto sum to another cell as well, but in this case it is going to calculate the sum of these series 2, not the series 1. So we are just passing on the function, and that function is AutoSum, which we selected from this formula option. So how we can do it? Let's try that. So I am opening that sheet again, my week 2 Excel. So we have some numbers here where we tried our sum, max, min function. Similarly, what we are doing it now, let's try the auto sum. Before applying it auto sum, you just see it where we have this auto sum with us. So we talked about it is available in the formula. Yes, in formula we have the auto sum. So let's have the numbers first. I can write some numbers 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So what I want to have, I want to calculate the sum here at this cell, that is B15, but I don't want to use the formula that sum or something else. So what I'll do, I am at this cell and I'll click on this auto sum. So it is showing me some results. Now it is actually assuming that I want to include this 105 as well, but I don't want to do it. I'll change the range, so I'll press the escape and I'll click on something like this, and then I'll click on auto sum. So I selected this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and obviously that value as well where I want to have that sum of those particular numbers. I click on that. So I got it 150 here. So it is the sum. Now you just see the formulas here. If I click on show formulas, so this is sum from B10 to B14, and that B10 is 10, B11 is 20, B12 is 30, B13 is 40, B14 is 50, and we got the sum. So we have not written here any formula like I'm writing here sum equals to something or something. I just click on the auto sum, and by default we got the result here instead of the sum function. If I click on the options here, this by using this auto sum, what we can do, we can actually calculate average as well. We can calculate count numbers as well. We can calculate max, min, and some more functions as well. So in by default, we can actually put that particular function, and by clicking on this auto sum, Microsoft Excel will be doing that function processing and writing it here the function's definition with the argument, and we will be getting the result. So this is the work of Microsoft Excel. Let's try the same numbers, and this time I'm just copying it into the C cell. What I want to do, I'll select it and I'll click on average. So average 30 is written here. And if you see the formula here, I'll go to formula and show formulas. The formula is average C10 from C40. So we have not actually written the function like average or something. What we have used, we applied average using this auto sum functionality of Microsoft Excel. Let's try with another function also. I'm just copying the same values. You can change the values as well. So I'll select that and I'll click it on maximum. So I got the maximum number here. If I click on the minimum number, I can get the 10 out of these numbers. So this is how we can use the functionality of automatic functions. So this auto sum we can use, auto average, auto count numbers, auto max, auto min is available, but we can choose more functions as well with the functionality of the auto. So this is the functionality of auto sum. Let me apply to a big data set as well. So let's open that financial sample. So we have this data here. We tried whatever functions we have to the unit sold. Let's try it with the sale price this time. So what I'll do, I'll just go to the last cell, that is somewhere around 700. Let's go to that sale price. That sale price is written here. So last time we did all the calculation, we calculated sum, average, count, max, min on the unit sold. This time we are doing with the sale price. So this is written here. So what I'll do, I'll go with the formulas and I'll click on auto sum here and I'll click on auto sum. The sum is written here. So what you can do, now you can actually see what it is doing. It is calculating the formula here, subtotal with the values of all the sale price. Similarly, if I want to write some formula, I can write it here again, and we can use in the same manner some average, count numbers, max, min, and some other functions as well. This is the functionality of the auto sum. I'll go back to the slide and what we have covered. There is one shortcut also to do the auto sum. Rather than going then from this formula and choosing the auto sum or auto average or auto count option, you can go it with the alt plus enter as well. So what I'll do, I'll go back to the same week 2. So what I want to do, I want to have sum of 150 here. I want to calculate the sum here. So what I can do, I can select it and I'll press alt plus enter, and that is alt plus equals to. This is the shortcut key for this auto sum. Even it is written here, you can see that sum is equal to alt plus equals to, automatically add a quick calculation to your worksheet such as a sum or average. So this is quick calculation. You can do it with the auto sum or this auto option. And in fact, the shortcut we have, this is alt plus equals to. Next, we have the AutoFill option. This is very wonderful option that is available with Microsoft Excel. So let's try that also. So we have here, now what I want to have, we have a data like series of the data. So this is 10 plus some, I'll delete this. So I want to have, maybe it is starting from 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, and this data I am having 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000. So this is the data I have. So what I want to have, I want to have the total for this series always. I'll create a column name also. So I'll write it, maybe the content 1. This is my content 2. I'll copy it here, content 2, and we can do the editing with the F2 button. We have learned in the week 1. Same we are practicing here, and we have here for content 3 as well. So this is the content I have. Now I want to have the total to these cells. So one option is to apply the sum function. The another option is to apply this auto sum. So I am clicking here auto sum. So I have the total here. So this 150 is the resultant of the summation of this 10 plus 20 plus 30 plus 40 plus 50. Similarly, what I want to have, I want to have this total for content 2 as well and content 3 as. So I can apply auto sum here also and here also, or I can write the sum function as well. The another way is to use the autofill options. For using autofill, what you need to do, you just come to this cell and scroll it down and wait for this plus sign. I'll do it again. Wait for this plus sign and drag the result to these side by column. Now you got the result again. So this is, if you see in the formulas, I'll click on the show formulas. So we can actually have the summation of other two contents as well. So this is sum of C11 from C15, sum of D11 from D15. So it just copied the formula through the autofill option and provided the result to us. So we have applied this, we got the summation of these numbers, these numerical numbers using the autofill option. And how we applied this autofill? By using this drag option. And what we are dragging, actually we are dragging the formulas and the cell reference are changed accordingly and we are getting the results. This was the autofill option. So if we have the multiple values and you want to actually calculate the sum, for example, I have the sum here and similarly I want it for all the fields. So what I'll do, I'll simply drag it like this and I'll get the result at here. So we have the result for till profit. I'll enlarge these cells so that we can actually see the results for the total. So this is the sum of all these numbers, whether it is any field, manufacturing price, sale price, gross sale, discount, sales, COGS, profit, etc. So you just see how it was very simple. You don't need to write any function again. You don't need to apply even sum again, this auto sum option again. What you did, you just dragged the cell value and you got the result accordingly. Even if you're making any kind of changes, that changes will be reflected in the answer. For example, for this 5, I am writing here 10. So similarly, my result will be changed. Similarly, if I am making it 5 again, so my result will be changed again. And what it is calculating, it is actually calculating the sum from the range F2 to F700. And similarly, we have for other fields as well. And how we did it? We did it with the option of the autofill and we applied the formula here by dragging the results. Another autofill examples, we applied this left click, hold and drag and we were successful of applying autofill. Next, another option of autofill we have, let's understand with small numbers first. Now, I am writing here 1, 2, 3. So we already discussed in week 2. So Excel actually provides us a range. So whenever I am selecting it and dragging it again, so this is again the option of autofill. In this case, Excel understood the pattern, the starting number and the ending number, and the difference between these two numbers, and accordingly, Microsoft Excel provided the range to us, and it is up to us whether we want to keep it further more range or we want to stop it here. In the same manner, now I'm just writing 10 here. Now in that case, if I drag it, so what autofill is doing? Just putting the same number everywhere. Similarly, I can go it by column wise also. So this is autofill functionality provided by the Microsoft Excel. If I'm not following any kind of formula, it is going through the values and according to the values, it is providing us the result. I'll go back to this home option and here we have this auto sum we already tried. It's in the shortcut. Similarly, we have this fill option as well. Now you just see I have the values 20. Now, in fact, I'll write only 10. In that case, I have the cell value here. I am not at the C23. In C23, I have written a numerical value that is 10. Now I am at C24 and I am clicking fill and just want to copy the above cell. So I'll click on up. Nothing happened. Now I'll click to the down. In that case, it actually copied it to the down cell. Now I'm at the left side of this value. I'll click on the right. I got that value. I'm at this side. Now I'll click at the left. I got that value. So what is the doing? This autofill is actually rotating, whether it is at the top, whether it is the bottom, whether it's the right option, whether it is the left option. Similarly, I can have this 10 at the up value as well. So I'll have it using the up and I got the result. So in this way, we can have this autofill from other sides as well. This kind be down also, this can be right also, this can be up also, this can be left also. So this is fill up options we have available here. Similarly, we have the series option also. So I'm writing this 10 again to understand what the series option do. What happens in the 10, I'll click on the series. Now you just see it carefully. You want to have the series in the form of row or column. So it is your choice whether you want to have that series written in the form of rows or into the columns. Let's try it for the rows first. Now, how you want that growth? You want that growth, for example, in the linear manner. Step value, let's do it 10. Stop value, let's do it 100. And now understand it. Now you can see it. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 till 100. Similarly, now I'll come to another option. I'll write 10 here. I'm at this cell value. I'll click on the fill and I'll click on the series. When I'm clicking on the series, this time I'm not going with the rows, I'll go with the column. Again, I'm selecting the option for the linear. When I'm selecting it for the linear, again I'll write the step value as 10 and the stop value as the 100. Where it should stop at 100. Where it should have the difference between two numbers, that is 10. I'll click on the OK. So now this time I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So the step value is 10 and the end value, that is stop value, is 100. That's why we are having these numbers. So this is the option that is available with the autofill. So you can actually have autofill, but according to your requirement. You're not leaving it to the Microsoft Excel to decide how Microsoft Excel wants to have that output or how Microsoft Excel is detecting the pattern. You're deciding it you on and you are telling the Microsoft Excel the same to do to make your help here. Now let's try it with some other values as well. This time let me start with the sum table 13. This time let's click on series again. So what I'll do, I'll have a column value, step value, I'll put 13 again, and I want to stop it at 130. So it should result in table for the 30. So this is 13 ones are 13, 26, 39, 52, 65, 78, 91, 104, 117 and 130. So the difference between these numbers is 13 and where we stopped at 130, and accordingly the Microsoft Excel provided us the range whatever we want to have. So we have applied the autofill option. So in the autofill option we have the option for the down, right, up and left to actually copy the same content. In the series we can go through the rows as well and we can go as to the columns as well. Let's try with something with a date function, or let's try with some date values. So I'll write the date 31st December 2021. So this is a date written here. Now I'll click on this fill and I'll click on the series. This date unit is actually enabled now. So I want to have the output in the columns. The format should be date and date unit should be day. So I want to have step value as 5 and stop value I'll put, for example, 10 for now. It has not given any result because I was using the wrong stop value. Let's try it again. We can have it something like trend as well. But for now, let's try this date. I'll go with the month, step value and stop value. Let's give the stop value as, so we have the output like this. So we provided the same output and we got the result similar manner. So whatever we were doing it into the month wise, that is why we had the two values here, 31st December and 31st January. Let's do it again. I'll do this time autofill for 31st January 2022. So I'll click on series, date. This time let's do weekday, or let's try for the day. Stop value I'll give 31st December, or let's give 31st March 2022. I'll click on OK. So now this time I have the result as it is providing me all the dates that is in between 31st January to 31st March. I have all the results with me. So for autofill option, we can do it with the date as well. So autofill is a very great feature. So you don't need to actually enter the data every time. What you can do, you can actually take help from Microsoft Excel and enter the data as well. So now you just see if you want to do it in some kind of a word processor. So all the dates you need to actually write. If you're doing it with the numbers, all the indexes you need to fill. You can't do it in the word processor. Another feature with fill, this autofill, is flash fill. This is very smart. The shortcut key is Control plus E. So you just read the tooltip here, automatically fill in values, enter a couple of examples you want as output, and keep the active cell in the column you want that filled in. So here what is happening, fill is provided, this autofill is provided, but it is intelligent enough to actually detect the pattern and accordingly it will provide the result. So you can see it like if you want to have smart filling, in that case you can use the flash fill. To check this, I have a sheet with me, President of India. I'll just zoom it. So what we have in this sheet, we have serial number, name of president, flash fill, I just filled it here, and tenure, it is like the name of the president and the tenure the respective honorable president worked for the India, that is written here. I took it from Wikipedia. From the same data, I want to apply the flash fill. I'll just repeat the definition again for the flash fill, that is automatically fill in values, enter a couple of examples and you want as output, keep the active cell in the column you want filled in. So what I want to have as the output, I just want to have first name here that is written. So if Sri Rajendra Prasad is there, so what I want to write here only Rajendra, nothing else. So I'll write here Rajendra. Now in that case, what I'm doing, I'm clicking on this fill and flash fill. Now you just see here what happened. This is filled with Sarupelli, Jakir, it's VV, Muhammad, this V again because full stop is there. Fakhruddin, Basappa, Neelam, Gyani, R, Shankar, K, APJ. So we got the result with the flash fill. So actually Excel decided what Excel wants to do with that smart filling up, and that smart filling up is done here. What if I'll copy it again, Rajendra Prasad again. In that case, as I copied it in the flash fill, I got the complete setup here. If I do Rajendra Prasad again, I'll write Rajendra Prasad. So what I have, again same output. So this is the smart filling up and that is available with the auto fill and that is with the flash fill. So what we covered now, we covered basically till now we covered how we can actually apply the auto sum, how we can use the shortcut for that, that is alt plus equals to. An autofill can be dragged here by left clicking, hold and drag, and in the autofill option we have multiple options. We can actually fill the values at the down, right, up, left, and the series is very good example whether we can have that series in the form of rows, columns. We can have that growth in the linear manner, growth manner, date, autofill. We can choose the date values and we can decide what is the step value and what is the stop value. And when we do the flash fill is the smartest one. So this we tried and we learned about the auto sum also. That is in the providing with the formulas, we have the option to do automatic calculation, and that calculation can be done for auto sum, auto average, auto count numbers, auto max, auto min, and in fact we can do it for the more functions as well. So this we learned here.